Thokozani, Thokozani, Thokozani. Welcome to Gogo Malandzela TV, and I am Gogo Malandzela. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode, and thank you to every single one of you who has definitely subscribed and hit those the buttons. And please, if you have not yet, please make sure to join the family. Click that subscription button and that notification button to make sure you get the latest in any of the content that we have in store for you. So, upon popular demand, you guys really enjoyed the spiritual calling video, the video that talks about the signs that one might experience if they have a spiritual calling. So, some of you said you needed more signs and you needed to hear more and know more. So, this is the part 2 of that video. I've heard your cry, and here it is. So, this is the part 2 of spiritual calling, the signs that one might experience in order for them to know if they have a spiritual calling or not, or a spiritual, journey that they need to engage in, then therefore. So, without any further ado, we will dive right into part 2. Number 1, some of the signs that you might experience if you're a person who has a spiritual calling could be different types of sicknesses, right? So you might feel sickness, you might sense it around you as well. And over and above that, this could be in terms of body pains, body aches, along those lines, which is definitely one of the signs that you might need to look into if you're experiencing any of that. Another sign number 2, um, fainting, right? Now, I've seen that it's mostly experienced by people who are scholars or people who are working, right? So you might experience fainting, haphazard fainting, whether you pass a certain store, or whether you are in the middle of an exam, or whether you're just about to go into a very important meeting. Some people do experience these things, and it's not just fainting for fainting, but it is a constant thing. So you'd find that in a month somebody has fainted more than 4 times within that very month. So that is something to really, really honestly look into. Sign number 3, some people then experience feet problems, right? So from feet problems, we're talking about your swollen feet or your burning feet. Because then some people, again, I say, according to your DNA, you will have your own experience. Everybody has their own experience, right? So that is something that we need to understand. Number 4, getting lost. Now, the same way you're used to going to work, coming back home, going to work, coming back home, or going to school and coming back home, or going to a friend's house and coming back home, just that simple going there and coming back, somebody would then therefore get lost. And you only realize after a while that you've been lost. You realize after a very, very long while. So that is something to also be careful of, because in some people's instances, by the time they try and recall where they were going, they are already way too far from home. So that is something to not take lightly. It is something to really, really look into and actively just get yourself into understanding what type of help you can get, how you can get help, and things like that, right? So sign number 5. So sign number 5 goes to losing concentration, right? So now you struggle to focus for longer than 30 minutes. You struggle to focus longer than an hour. Those are the things that then need to have you in a point where you can then therefore be assisted in such a way that that will be prohibited, right? Sign number 6, you experience uncontrollable or then therefore untreatable headaches, right? So this is experiencing a headache from when you wake up all the way to when you sleep. Be it you drink Panado, Grandpa, or whatever other thing that may be able to assist you with your headaches, the headache remains constant. The headache pounds or the headache. So it's just a constant feeling of being in a headache despite medically maybe getting help, or even if you try and drink water and you still have that persistent headache. That is something to be aware of. Number 6, you naturally are gravitated to wanting to help people. You want to help people, you want to help animals, you just want to help, and you don't know how to go about it, or you don't know how exactly, where, when, or why even. Sometimes you'd be walking somewhere and you find yourself helping somebody else and you'd be like, but I wasn't even going in this direction. So that's just some of the signs that some people do then therefore experience. Number 7, you are then therefore highly intuitive, right? Meaning your intuition is aligned, your gut. These are the people then therefore when they follow their gut feeling, they know that okay, I'm not supposed to go there, or no, I'm not supposed to do this, or no, maybe this person's energy is doing this. So these are some of those things that you then therefore experience, right? Number 8, people then experience a shift in their consciousness or their thought process. They try by all level and means to be a much broader thinker, unlike just thinking about the now. So they think about the now, the tomorrow, the past, and everything else in between. So those are then your people who are then therefore conscious, and they make all means to have a healthy and a stable thought process, right? Number 8, um being introverted. Being introverted then therefore leads the person to then therefore channel their energies properly. They are able to think, they are able to hear, they're able to see, they're able to then therefore be aware of the things that are happening around them, or the people then therefore in the things that they go through. Number 9, you find that this person has vivid dreams, right? So these are your people that have such detailed dreams that you cannot believe. So you'll find that some get clear instructions from start to finish as to what are they supposed to wear, how are they supposed to be, their regalia. They are shown things that they need to then therefore have in their lives, or some of them that they have to incorporate into their lives, or some of them even have to then follow through. So these dreams, they come in different ways. Some of them are instructions, some of them are warnings, some of them are blessings, some of them um, are, um, are them being led. So they come in different ways and they should be nurtured. Every dream deserves to be nurtured. And when I talk about nurturing a dream, is fully understanding a dream and understanding the communication coming from your ancestors to you, right? So, number 9, you find that the person is drawn, they are drawn to nature. So these are your people that then therefore they love herbs such as trees, they like water, they like the ocean, they like anything that draws them to nature. They would gladly leave the house to go be in a bush somewhere because that is just how they are inclined. So that is something to also be aware of. Number 10. Is this number 10, guys? Okay. Number 10, you then find that these people are extremely sensitive, right? And when we talk about sensitivity, we talk about they feel things, they see things, they smell things, they just have an overstimulation in their senses. It's overstimulated. It doesn't matter if you're going to come into their space and your foot is sore. Chances are their foot is going to be sore as well. Because why? They are overstimulated. They are able to then be in contact and engaged in terms of the energies that they experience, the environment that they experience, the people that they experience over and above other things. So, there's also that. And then number 11, they feel a sense of belonging. So you find if a person feels like, I don't belong in this circle of people, chances are you don't. If that is something that you're experiencing, chances are you don't belong in that particular circle. And that is something you need to be aware of, because the more you keep overwhelming yourself with spaces that you're not supposed to be in, reactions to your life or responses, then therefore to your life, might also have an effect. So it is very important for you to be aware of where are you, who you with, why, and all those things. Those things are important. There are things that we used to take lightly, but there are things that we should also take quite seriously, because they matter and they have an impact in however we then therefore choose to be. Right. Number 12, um signs that you might experience if you're having a thingy, a spiritual calling, is that you then are highly creative. So these are people who have a lot of ideas. They're able to come up with solutions now. They have a lot of ideas. Manifestation, however, or manifesting any of those ideas becomes slightly a bit difficult, because they have such a broad idea to what they can create, you know, be it its products and services, be it it's a lot of things that one can create. So you find that it's a person who's just too creative for their own good, too many ideas, which if they don't manifest, other people will then manifest for them. And sometimes it's not about other people manifesting it for you, but you need to get to a space where you understand yourself to a point where you know what you do want and what you don't want. So this is something to really be aware of. Another thing is that these are people who are very empathetic, you know. They are able to then therefore put themselves in somebody else's shoes and walk a mile in their shoes. So they're very empathetic, and they however also physically go through the pains of other people. So if you're gonna visit me and then you're there with a backache, now all of a sudden now I have this raging backache, is because, going back to the stimulation of senses, going back to a couple of other things that I've mentioned in this video, this is one of those things whereby the physical body can go through some of these experiences, intended or unintended. Even if you were expecting a guest at your home and they have an ear problem, you are physically going to go through that, whether you are expecting the guest or not. So don't be overwhelmed with your senses and your body and your natural being. Don't overwhelm yourself to a point where you cannot handle, or you also cannot help that person who is there, then therefore with you. Another thing to with regards to people who might experience having a calling, they are also quite sympathetic. They have sympathy. They're able to see, they're able to understand others' situations. They don't just now judge for judgment, if I can put it that way, but they listen to understand, to then therefore advise. I hope that then therefore makes sense in terms of some of the symptoms that people face. Some people experience then therefore shaking or an out of body experience, um, amongst many other things. So, if these are some of the signs that you are also going through, um, that you also need assistance with, please, 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 please don't take some of the things that you've been going through to a point where you normalize them and you feel like, no, I am supposed to faint every single day. No, you need to take care of yourself. You need to stand up. You need to find help, right? You're not only doing this for you, but also for you to be able to live a life that doesn't necessarily require you to be worried. If I walk out the gate, am I going to faint? Is there somebody who's going to be able to help me? If I go to school and something happens, will I have people to then therefore understand me instead of, cast burdens unto me, So other people, they have experiences where they have people that can help them should they experience any of these signs. Some people don't. And it's very important, if you can and do have the means of getting help, please do. And if you don't, pasha, talk to your ancestors, let them know what you are facing, talk to them, communicate to them. Pasha. Over and above that, pray, ask God to heal and lead you, until you are then able to get the correct help. But until then, please, my beloveds, please stay safe. Please be safe. Please take some time, introspect yourself, know yourself, get to know yourself better, so that should you have any of these experiences, you are able to then therefore embrace yourself instead of harming yourself. Because sometimes when we experience some of these things, we get so overwhelmed and emotional that however we decide to deal with it, it might not be necessarily good for us. So it is important for you to know yourself, research, find out about yourself. You know, what you don't understand about yourself, find out, understand yourself to the fullest, so that you, with every effort you put into becoming better each and every day, you can actually fulfill it because you then know what you are doing. So, thank you, beloveds, for tuning in. It is my pleasure, it is my honor to have been able to share this video with you. I hope it is informative. I hope it does what it's supposed to be. And thank you for joining our channel once again, because this is a channel where we all get to learn. It is a channel where we get to share our experiences without judgment. So, guys, thank you very much. I can't wait to hear from you in the comment section. Till next time, Tokos.